to the last moment, but we knew to get justice for Fred Cox, we were going to need our best, all united together to make what happened in Minneapolis happen here in North Carolina. So that's why we got my brother from another mother to be here with us.
What you just saw was a video that I shot about a week ago. And it is it's from a protest I attended in High Point, North Carolina, for a gentleman by the name of Fred Cox. For those who don't know who Fred Cox is, he was a black man, very young black man, who was killed by not an undercover, but a plainclothes detective at a funeral. As the funeral was ending, he was killed by this police officer. The reason for this protest was because it had just came out that they were not charging the police officer with killing Fred Cox. That was an issue, and that got the attention of Attorney Crump and other families in and around North Carolina who are dealing with the same kind of injustice being done to their family members. So during that brief speech that you said, he said that he was flying in and flying out. He had to get right back because this was also the same weekend that Derek Chauvin had been sentenced. So I think they were up there for that, and they came down for this. And he didn't even finish the march. He was out. While I was there, for the record, incredible to see him there. Incredible to see his legal team there. Incredible to see the turnout of everybody that was there. In fact, I was approached by this lady, and this is the mother of Marcus Smith, and you can see her holding a picture of him there in that shot right there. But her and her husband, a gentleman right there on the right, they approached me after everybody had spoke and introduced themselves, and I'll be honest and say that I had no idea who they were. Embarrassing enough. But their son Marcus Smith was having a mental health emergency, and the police, in efforts to calm him down, hog-tied him, and he ended up dying in police custody. So we had a great conversation. I told him who I was and what I do for the city, and we really connected. Really dope people, and my heart goes out to them as well as the Cox family. So for what it's worth, anybody that knows me on that level knows that I've never been a fan of Attorney Crump. And for that reason, outside of just standing in solidarity for Mr. Cox, I've never seen or spoke to or anything in person when it comes to Benjamin Crump. He just always rubbed me the wrong way. I didn't think that he got the results that was needed when he was attaching himself or when he was attached or, hired to be on cases. And I've gone back and forth with family members on it. And I mean, it's a healthy exchange, to put it lightly. But I wanted to take this opportunity to go and see him, look at him, because a part of me feels like I'm unjustly or being unfair towards Attorney Crump. He's doing good work, or at least trying, right? So I wanted to take this opportunity to go and check him out, and also be a part of the day and the movement and the march. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I was underwhelmed. Hence the reason for this podcast, because this is what we're going to do. We're just going to attack topics on a weekly basis, cover 10 minutes, and keep it moving. But while I was there, when I was shooting the video that you saw at the beginning of this podcast, you will see that I was so thrown off by all the people that was moving and this and that, whatever. I saw them when they pulled up, but I didn't pay any attention. And then I was standing between the two cars that they pulled up in, he and his colleague, and I had a chance to take in my surroundings. When I looked down, they pulled up in matching Maybachs. They pulled up in. It put me in the spirit of, I don't know if you all have ever seen the Kenneth Copeland interview where a young lady approaches him about buying a private jet from Tyler Perry, and he talks about the deal that he got on and how he had to have it because it was too good to pass up. But part of the reason why he wanted the plane was because he said that he didn't like being on flying commercial with dirty people or something to that effect. And I know I'm butchering the quote, right? But you can look it up. And that didn't sit well with me either, right? Because being a person that grew up in the church, I was taught that, Jesus walked among the people and he won't fly on the plane with one. In fact, he refuses. So how can you preach the gospel to be like a person that you are not acting like? I don't think Christ would have an issue with flying commercial. In fact, I think he would prefer it. So it's the same thing with this, right? Now, granted, Crump is not an evangelist. He's not preaching the word of God or Allah or Islam or Christianity or any other religion at that. And he's an attorney. He's in a lucrative business, in more ways than one, right? So who am I to judge this man on the kind of car that he pulls up in if he's making the bread to get it? My issue is this. Like the Kenneth Copeland situation, I don't believe the optics, and I'm not one to care about. I'm not going to say care about. I know people don't like the word optics sometimes, but like for this situation, I'm going to use the word. And this isn't about the words that I choose. This is about the thought that I'm trying to convey. When you deal with taking care of poor, disenfranchised people, when you go into these poor black cities, when you say that you're here to help them, when you say that you're here to stand in solidarity for them, when you're here to help them, I don't think that it's a good look for you to pull up in a Maybach. More importantly, two matching Maybachs when you and your homie could have rode together. Like that I'm not feeling it. I don't like it. He can do whatever he wants to do, but it doesn't sit well with me. And who knows, like maybe I'll be a hypocrite one. No, I take that back. Like, cause I know what that looks like and I know that that's a bad look. So if I'm ever out and I have the money for a Maybach, if I own a Maybach and I'm going into a poor black town to help black folks, I'm not going to pull up in my Maybach. I'm going to get something else. It just upset me. And some people might not care. And if you don't care, this ain't for you. And if you don't like it, this ain't for you. And if you with it, I appreciate you standing in solidarity. And if you got something to say about it, by all means, leave it in the comments. But I say all that to say this. It presents a moral dilemma for me. And this is where you come in, and this is where you answer this question for me, or you help me better understand myself. And that is, I believe now that Attorney Crump has this incredible win under his belt for the George Floyd case, he now carries weight, meaning the next time that a black person is killed by the police in another city, and when city officials, whether it be the mayor, state attorney, police agencies, they are going to be very, very, they're going to be afraid. They're going to be like, oh man, here he come. What is he going to do? What is he going to bring? Was it, so, because what we want is change, and even in the interviews that I've done, and I believe in a whole lot of what Malcolm X said, and we have to, as a people, come together first. We have to care for our communities, and then and all come together. So, should I, as a person who wants to see change, who wants to see legislation, who wants to see, no unarmed black man be killed by the police, should I at this point just get behind a man that I don't agree with? Because it's more important to show solidarity than it is. No one person is above the struggle, right? We all have to come together and we all have to stand united on this. Do I just shut up and get behind it? and be called a hater or possibly ostracized or whatever it is that people are going to do because they feel like I'm doing more hurt than good. I should just be quiet and get behind the movement. What did people in the 60s do that didn't care for the way that MLK moved, but they knew that, like, ain't nothing getting done? And by no means am I comparing Crump to MLK. But I'm sure there was people back then that didn't know what to do. That didn't agree with some of this stuff. I don't know. Same thing with BLM. I've never really 100% bought into the BLM movement. Not because I didn't appreciate and agree with what they stood for, but I just felt like it was some shadiness on the underlying, and I felt like they could always be doing more. And now you see families coming forward suing them because they're not holding up their end of the deal, allegedly. So what do you do in situations like this? Get tough or get dissed? Think about it. It's a moral dilemma. Do you get behind the movement, or do you find another way, or do you go your own way, or do you just find a way to do you in the midst of the movement and hope that we all arrive at the same finish line? I don't know. But nevertheless, we're going to do this every week. We're going to touch on a topic. We're going to dissect it, ask some questions, give some facts, and, leave something for y'all to think about. But until the next time, man, y'all chill. Thanks for listening.